Hi everyone, it's Annette with ASCardDesign. Welcome back to my channel and the finale of the Gina K Designs 12 Days of Christmas box. This is day 12, the day 12 reveal. So let's open this and get started. Let's see what we have. Oh goodness, okay. It looks like we have layering stencils, which I love, and this one is called Magnificent Magnolias. This made me a little bit nervous because I have a lot of her layering stencils, but you know what? I don't have this one. I already have in my mind an idea when I see layering stencils. I am going to really jazz this one up. So let me go ahead and unpackage this. I'm bringing in the Gina K Designs Double Background #1 Grip Mat. And the inks I'm going to be using are medium and dark lilac. Those are going to be for the flowers. And for the leaves, we'll use light and medium spruce because I also love the spruces. I'm going to set those aside for now. And I'm going to bring in my panel, which I've already die cut out of Master Layouts 2. And it's the stitched panel. And my camera probably will want to go out of focus. So I'm going to get the stencil down really fast. The first stencil is going to be stencil #1, and if you look closely, they are etched with the name of the stencil and the number if they're numbered. Go ahead and put that down. And we'll start with the medium lilac first. This is my ink stand, just to hold the ink pad. And I'm just going to load up the brush, and I'm going to go with a light hand and just go over these flowers in both directions. And I'm going to go over them lightly one more time because these colors, or I'm sorry, these inks do dry back a little bit when they dry. I'm going to leave this stencil on and bring in the dark lilac. Now, normally I would switch this out, clean it, and bring in the second layer and do the darker color, but we're going to do something else with that. So I am going to just go ahead and use the darker lilac with a smaller brush. Let's just do a smaller blending brush. And I'm just going to go down here onto the bottom of the flowers and bring it in just a little bit darker and blend it up. Let's go ahead and peel that up and see what we have so far. Gorgeous, just stunning. And then I'm going to just clean this off with a little spray of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. And then we're going to go with stencil #3. And this is looks like the stems. So very easy to line up. Just put those stems right at the base of the flowers. And we'll go with the light spruce. And again, I'm just starting at the bottom and working my way up. Get this off. And I'll clean this. And then our final stencil. This is, again, very easy to line up. These are just going right, you can see, on the stems and on the leaves. And that'll just darken up those areas to give it a little bit of a highlight. I'm going in a little bit heavy. Like I said, these will dry back a little bit lighter. This off and see what we have. Isn't that pretty? I just love the greens and the purples together. We have one last layer to do. And for that, we're going to go ahead and line that up. For the final layer, we are going to use Gina K's Fuse Foiling Gel because, yes, we're going to foil this. So let's go ahead and lay down some of the gel. And you just want to get some on a palette knife. Go ahead and put your gel down. Again, not ink blending because the foil has the color in it. We don't need to put any ink down on this layer. So I'm just scraping off the excess and putting it back into the jar. And then you want to make sure you clean your tools off right away. So this stencil, I'm going to seal this jar back up. And I'm going to pull this stencil off and get it in some hot soapy water right away and clean that up. And you want to carefully remove your stencil and your panel. Okay. And then you want to allow this some time to dry. So right now it's very wet and shiny. Or it's actually not very shiny, it's more opaque. When it dries, it's going to be very shiny. So let me set this aside to dry, clean up everything. We'll come back when this is dry and ready and we'll do some foiling. It's been about an hour and our fuse gel is completely dry and it's just shiny and clear and completely dry. And then the foil I'm going to use, I decided to go ahead with this darker, and I believe this is Wild Lilac. So there's Wild Lilac and Amazing Amethyst. I believe the lighter color is Amethyst, but we're going to go ahead and use the darker color. And I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper as my carrier sheet. So I've already cut a piece of the Wild Lilac foil, and we'll go ahead and put this in our carrier sheet. And I'm using the fuse foiling system from Gina K, and I have it on setting 3, and I've already preheated it. It's ready to go. So we'll run that through. And I want to invite you to stick around to the end of this video because I am going to bring in the Gina K 12 Days of Christmas box that is now empty, but I'm going to lay out all 12 of the gifts that were in this box because I believe she said she was going to do this again next year. And maybe start earlier so everyone will have a chance to order it. Okay, and I'm just going to turn this off and set it aside. Get this out, and then we'll go ahead and peel. And you'll see that foil adhered beautifully to the gel. Let me see if I can find it. So there you can see that gorgeous shine. It's very purple. It's so beautiful, and it's only where we put the gel on that stencil. So the rest is ink blended and absolutely gorgeous. It looks amazing in person, and I think that that light is catching it. So let's go ahead and put the rest of this card together. I have a black matte layer, and we're going to go ahead and adhere the panel down. We'll just go ahead and glue that. And then I have my card base, which is 110-pound cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, and I folded it in half. I also finished the inside of this card with Master Layouts 2 with the stitch die and the matte layer. And I used the stamp set from Cheers to Another Year, and I believe this was day 9. And so that's the inside greeting. May your special day be as wonderful as you are. And then from day 4, I pulled in these little hearts and just added a few in. And I just think that that finishes the inside of the card. So we'll go ahead and put this on the front. And then also from Cheers to Another Year, I stamped and die cut the happy birthday. And I stamped it and I die cut out 2 extra pieces just to give it some dimension. So go ahead and put this down. And I do want to thank you all who have been watching me and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I love all the feedback. I hope that some of my designs, my cards, have inspired you to make some of your own or just get back into your craft room if you've taken a break. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. As you may know, we are trying to grow this channel, and as soon as I reach 1,000 subscribers, my brother Mike will make a card for the first time ever. So that will be a lot of fun. I'm going to put this happy birthday right down center bottom. Kind of like it right there. And that is our finished card. I love it. Really enjoyed this series, and that's the inside of the card. So let me go ahead and clear this out and get the finale and show you everything that came in this box. All right, so let's go ahead and recap. Now, I'm going to show you each card I made with each day's gift. I do have a video for each of these days, so I will not be able to put all of the supplies in this video. I will put the supplies for day 12, which is this particular video. But you could go back and look at the playlist for days 1 through 11, and all the supplies will be listed. And I will have that playlist linked to the end of this video. So let's get started. Day 1 was this beautiful ornate frame, and it's a die. And the card I made is an old stamp set that I love called Ornate Birds. And I just framed it out, did some stamping, and I made like a little sky background there and added For All You Do on the inside. So that was day 1. Day 2 was this cute critter stamp set called A Paper Hug. And it was a stamp and die set. And the card I made, I used different elements. This is from one of the master layouts, and so is the frame, but the critter and the greeting and the little hearts were from the gift. So that is Sending a Paper Hug. I love that card. I did some faux wood graining with some ink on that. So that's that. And then day 3 was a little bit of a challenge for me. So day 3 were these sequins and embellishments. Now I put them in this container. It didn't come this way, but came in a little bag. They're just these beautiful sequins, great for shaker cards. I did not make a shaker card with this. So you got the embellishments, and you had this in your bag as well. Gina K Connect glue with a fine tip bottle that you could put your glue in there and apply. And I did not do that because I already have one that I use every day. So that was day 3, but I did make a card, and this is what I came up with. I had a 3D embossing folder, and I think this one is called Wiggle Flowers. And I just went ahead and embossed it, did some ink blending right on top, and added those sequins in the centers just for some added shine and shimmer. And we did a happy birthday wishes on that. So that was day 3. And then day 4, things were getting interesting starting in day 4 for me, was the Tiny Tags Sentiments. So this was a really, really nice stamp set. Also came with coordinating dies. So I made a tag with it. I did some foiling with some red. I think it's called Radiant Red. But if you can see the little stars, look at this heart here. You can see the iridescent stars inside that foil. Very, very pretty. So I made a tag. This is from the Gina K's Tag Trio. 3 different tags. I cut 2 different sizes, and then I used the stamps from this set for the tiny little tag on the front. And that was day 4. And then, much to my surprise, day 5 were these tiny tag dies. All right, what to do with these? I did not make a card, but I did make some tags, and I did several of them. I've already actually sent one away off on a gift, but just I had some background or some DIY pattern paper that I made, and I just cut out the tags, and then I added the greetings, added some twine. Very simple to do. And then these banner tags, or I just stamped a shadow layer with some of the pattern paper, and I just let that free hang from the tag. And I really like that idea. And I didn't come up with that idea. That's from Mindy Egan. So I was inspired by her video on that. And I do like that. Okay. And then just a couple more. I really like that stamp. And lastly, that was actually a fun gift. All right, day 6. Day 6 was glitter, or Gina calls it Dazzle Dust. Okay, Dazzle Dust came in Starlight, 14 karat, and Sterling. This can be very messy. I don't really work with glitter a whole lot, but I took my time. I made sure I knew my space and what I was doing, and it really was not as messy as I thought. But this is the card I came up with. I did some stenciling, and then on one of the stencils, I stenciled some fuse gel, Gina K's fuse gel over that. I did the fuse gel. I sprinkled the gold, the 14 karat, and I tapped it off, I let it dry. Once it was completely dry, I took a dry cloth and just buffed it, got all the loose glitter off, and this does not come off now. So that is actually one of my favorites, and I hope the camera is doing it justice, but that one came out very nice, and I like it. I made 2 of these. I've already mailed one out. So that was day 6. Day 7 was this beautiful chalet background stamp. And I'm going to take it out because I don't know, there might be some glare. This pattern is amazing. And that is, I was just practicing with it. And it's just so pretty. But the card I made, I just did the background, I did a greeting, and I was actually playing around with the Starlight Dazzle Dust. And I had some snowflakes. It's really hard for the camera to pick it up. But I die cut them out with the circle tiny tags and added some embroidery floss on there, and I just made a quick card. So that was day 7. Day 8 was this amazing tiara twin frames. These dies are huge. They are so large. So I made a card. I made a fun fold card. So I think I used this die. So that's what that looks like. But I used that chalet background stamp that I just showed you. I did it in 3 colors, like an ombre, and then I die cut this out of white and did a happy birthday, and I put a greeting in there, and that is one of my favorites. This is a fun card to make. So if you want to learn how to make these, you can go back to my video from the day, what day was it? Day 7 reveal, and you can see how I did that. All right, so that's day 7. I'm sorry, that is day 8. You can go to day 8 and see how I made that. Day number 9 was this Cheers to Another Year stamp set. Very fun. Birthday, celebrations, whatever, but they have nice inside greetings and outside greetings. Okay, so the card I made, I went back to day 1 and got that ornate frame, and I cut it in silver cardstock. And I did some ink blending with a stencil and this happy birthday stamp. I stamped it and die cut it, and then I stamped and die cut "May your special day be as wonderful as you are." Number 10 was, I like this product. I didn't have it before. It's the Gina K Spatter Paint in white. So I thought I would blend a night sky and did some silhouette stamping with the deer, and I did some winter wishes. I didn't put anything on the inside. Then I did the spatter with this white, and it wasn't as white as I was hoping it would be, but the effect is still there. It gives a nice effect of either snow falling or starlight. So I do like the way that card came out, and I will definitely use this product again. Day 11, I love this card, but before I show you the card, it was the Glorious Gatefolds dies. I used this die, and I made a 1-color card. I used cadet blue cardstock, cadet blue ink, and I cut that gatefold out of the cadet blue cardstock. I used the cadet blue ink and inked up the panel and also the front balloon. And this is from Vintage Summer. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I did some clear heat embossing on that balloon so it's shiny. Then I decorated the inside, and I cut that out with master layouts too. I did second generation stamping with that balloon, which means I inked it up and I stamped it on some scrap paper first and then stamped it on here. So it's just a very light impression. It kind of reminds me of the old blue and white china. So that is a gatefold card. Then again, today's the Magnificent Magnolias 4 layering stencil, and you saw me make this card today with the foiling and ink blending. I love that foil on the fused gel. And then may your special day be as wonderful as you are. So that is it. I want to thank Gina K and her whole entire team for putting this idea together and getting all these out to those of us that ordered them. I really appreciate all that they've done for this to happen. And I want to thank all of you for watching and subscribing and hitting that like button. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful evening or day if you're watching. And until we meet again, have a great day, and I hope to see you again. Bye.